Hi everyone, good morning. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now, the show where we wrap up all the individual movers and shakers in trade. I'm Mubina Kapasi. Markets showing a very flat move after the absolute carnage that we witnessed on the Lal Street for the last three trading sessions. So just bang at that 11,350 mark for the Nifty. Sensex also merely clocking in gains of just about 20 odd points. So nothing substantial on that front either. On the broader markets, however, there's finally, after so many sessions, some bit of outperformance witnessed in the small cap index. 0.5% half of the small cap index, and this is coming in after really long. So I think that as well is something that's pretty noteworthy on how the small cap index is performing. But let's bring on board then our technical analysts as well as research analysts who are going to take us through the big movers and shakers during the show. We have with us Kunal Bothra and ET Now's research analyst Soumya Sharma. So thanks to both of you for joining in. And let's kickstart the show first with some earnings reactions. Mastech has delivered its first quarter numbers. On a consolidated basis, the numbers do not seem to be very good. You have a revenue figure which has come in at 247 crore rupees and it's declined from the previous quarter by 7.5%. Profits as well have gone down by 11% from 27.4 to 24.3 crore rupees, and rightly so. You are seeing the stock price as well react, and how it's almost a 9% decline in the stock price today at 417 rupees. Kunal, let's talk about PVR, which has been displaying a lot of resilience in the recent past. Continues to stay above 1750 rupees. What's your view here?
Yeah, now that's a very crucial resistance, which the stock has crossed. Now, generally, when you see a break of, key level in terms of stock, the character of, the stock or that level changes. So from being an earlier resistance, now it's trying to become a support for the stock price. So that 1750 mark is a very crucial mark. Remember that the stock, had also seen a correction like most of the other mid caps in the last, 1.5 odd month. But it's one of the few names to try and make a good comeback. So I think after this, change of character in terms of levels and then the stock making a good comeback, there is a case which could be established that the stock can continue to rise up higher. 1810 is where I would place the targets on PVR, would suggest a buy at current levels, and stop loss could be taken to almost 1735.
Okay, there you have it. That is, PVR for you, and Kunal has a buy over here. Let's move on and talk about our next stock, and that is, of course, the big earnings of yesterday. Kotak Mahindra Bank came out post-market hours. The street seems to be pretty pleased with what they have seen in the first quarter. Soumya, what are the internals like, and what is the brokerage recommendation?
Well, yes, talking about the Q1 FY20 results, the profit were pretty much in line and actually slightly below due to the rise in provisions. As far as the asset quality is concerned, it remained largely stable given in the tough environment currently. The net interest income were pretty much in line, and as far as the brokerages are concerned, they maintain their status quo as far as Kotak Bank is concerned. Particularly, CLSA has said that Kotak has the potential to gain market share in corporate as well as quality retail loans, and they're seeing a 22% of profit CAGR over FY19 to 22, and they believe that the ROE is also improving. We're seeing this smart uptick coming in the stock, gaining close to about 1.5%.
Well, yes, it's come off from the day's high, but nevertheless holding on to gains of about 1.5%. Okay, we have Vikas Jain as well joining in now from Reliance Securities. Hi, Vikas. Good morning. Let's talk about the decline in HDFC or the entire group after those smart gains that we saw last week. Today, this group seems to be taking it a bit easy. Your view on HDFC Limited?
Well, the stock has seen a good amount of decline after coming up a week high. But again, now this current decline of more than 6-7% on the stock, and with strong average supporting near to those 20 week at 2075 to 2100 levels made for a buy, and we believe the stock would bounce back to 2250, 2260 levels to maintain a positive view to buying this time.
That is HDFC Limited down by 2.2%, and Vikas's strategy as well on this counter. Moving on, ICICI Securities, this one delivered its first quarter numbers yesterday. How were the results exactly? Well, pretty okay. On a consolidated basis, we had the revenue at around 402 crore rupees, and we also had the profit at 114 crores. There was a decline, no doubt, on the top line as well as the bottom line. However, CLSA still has maintained a buy on this one. They also have their target price at 300 1,110 rupees, as they believe that yes, this stock of course has had a tough time in the first quarter, but there is an uptick in client activation, which according to them will drive growth and valuation re-rating from here on. So they have a buy stance. Of course, that weaker top line growth has dragged the core earnings, but the initiatives to drive clients and engagement can lift growth from here on. So after all the give and take, you have ICICI Securities losing approximately 1/3%. Kunal, let's talk about some of these realty names which are trying to bounce back after the strong decline seen yesterday. Sobha higher by 4%.
Very interesting, Mubina, frankly, because, at a time when the markets are getting a bit, wobbly in terms of trying to have low beta stocks in portfolio, high beta stocks not performing, real estate sector, which has been one of the most traditionally high beta space, I think that space is doing exceptionally well. Names, especially on the cash side or the cash segment stocks like Oberoi Realty, Sobha, etc. They've been doing pretty well for themselves, not just in the last 2-3 days, but I think overall in the last 5 to 6 months. Sobha again today has shown some very good price and volume performance, and I think on the back of this, it now establishes the case that 550, which was the previous support from where the stock has bounced today, I think that should now act as a very strong support for the stock price. And again, a high possibility that the stock could continue to ride up higher, trying to march up to its new highs as well.
Okay, that is of course Sobha for you. Kunal is flagging off what traders can do with this counter. Okay, let's just take a quick look at the RWI small case index. Like we've always been flagging off, this essentially comprises some of the key stocks from key sectors that adequately represent the Indian economy. And today, the RWI small case index continues to dip lower. Of course, the quantum with which it falls today is much lower compared to what it has been falling with for the last few days, but it still continues to remain below that 500 mark. The index is lower by 0.1%. Like I said, it comprises some key stocks that represent the Indian economy and have, of course, representation from financial services, consumer discretionary, among others. Okay, let's continue with the countdown then. And Soumya, Canfin Homes, how are the first quarter results for this counter?
Well, decent set of numbers by Canfin Homes. Talking about the NI and profit, they were pretty much in line with the street expectations. In fact, they reported a good, healthy loan book growth of over 17%, but at the same time, the disbursements slowed on a QOQ basis, and also the asset quality deteriorated. Particularly, the GNPAs were higher by over 23% on a sequential basis. But in overall, the company reported good set of numbers, and apart from this, they also informed about raising fresh equity up to 1,000 crore through rights issue, QIP, or preference shares. But given the tough environment, a loan book growth of over 17% is considered good, and even on the profit and net interest front, the company reported good set of numbers.
Okay, 2.7% higher. This is Canfin Homes for you. Okay, Vikas, we cannot not acknowledge the sort of volatility we have witnessed in Yes Bank. Yesterday it was higher in trade. Today as well it continues to go higher. Of course, we would acknowledge there's an ET now impact as well playing out here. We are expecting that very important deal in DHFL, which will help Yes Bank, which is a key lender to DHFL. If that deal does go through, Yes Bank will not have to take any significant haircut. So Vikas, how would you recommend traders deal with Yes Bank amidst all of this movement seen in the stock?
If you look at post results, the short-term bottom has been placed. It has made a double bottom near to those 79.82 odd levels. We believe this pullback can further extend near to 97.99, as a lot of shorts has been squared up post the number. So the short can move further to 97.99 level from here.
Okay, that is Vikas's recommendation on Yes Bank. We'll do one thing quick. We take a quick break right here on Market Fatafat. Do come right back. We'll continue flagging off as many stocks as we can on the show. Everyone, welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now, let's continue with the countdown of the big movers and shakers. Take a look at Titan. This stock is managing to stay pretty steady in trade. It's once again gone above 1,100 rupees at 1.5% of gains. Now, gold prices yesterday in India managed to hit a record high, and we are talking about prices reaching levels of more than 35,000 rupees. Remember that we have seen global gold prices hit almost $1,430 $2 per ounce. And this is something that caused even Indian gold prices to go beyond 35,900, well in line to touch 36,000 rupees. So fresh record highs for Indian gold prices, and we are going to see stocks like Titan, etc., duly react to that. Okay, moving on. Kunal, let's talk about Asian Paints. This is something that was on your radar last week as well. What is it that you're observing?
Yes, Meera, and last week we had identified a pattern of inverse head and shoulder for Asian Paints, and that was very close to 1370, 1375 when the stock had broken out of that neckline. So it's moved up higher from 1370, then retested that neckline and then moved up again. So this is a very classical technical setup of an inverse head and shoulder pattern when you see a breakout, retest of the trend line or the neckline, and then a resumption of the uptrend. Now when you look at the pattern's targets overall, it lands up to almost 80 to 85 rupees from those 1370 levels, which brings the targets closer to 1460. So even at current level, I think there's another 35 to 45 rupees upside for the stock price. Traders could look at this opportunity as a buy, keep a stop loss of 1400.
Okay, it's a buy on Asian Paints from Kunal. Soumya, what's the news on VA Techwabag?
Well, this company is definitely buzzing. Stock is definitely buzzing today on back of order wins, and in fact, the entire government's push on water management and water protection is actually helping the company. They've secured the largest order under Namami Gange worth over 1,187 crore rupees, and this is from Bihar Urban Infrastructure Development Corporation. And see, the stock is really gaining smartly. Right now, it's higher by over 4%.
Well, yes, the entire push by the Modi government for Ganga cleaning, for provision of clean water is something that is going to benefit companies like VA Techwabag. And you're already seeing the order inflows come in. Namami Gange order of almost 1,200 crore rupees. Certainly a reason for this stock to rise. Let's talk about the next stock, and that's Zee Entertainment. Yesterday, Zee, Dish TV, these stocks managed to stay very strong in trade. Today, however, some weakness creeping into the stock price. And don't forget, we have the first quarter numbers as well that we are waiting by for. So, Vikas, ahead of that, what are you observing?
Yeah, the results will be key for the breakout. But technically, if you look at, the stock has been trending between this 345 to 365 levels for quite some time with strong amount of volatility. So on either side, breakout would decide the next leg of move. If 365 is being crossed, then we could see the breakout heading towards 390, 395.
Okay, that is Vikas's recommendation on Zee Entertainment. Let's talk about another stock, and that is Future Lifestyle. This is, again, a result candidate. It came out with its first quarter numbers over the weekend. However, we do have some brokerage reactions which are worth flagging off. Future Lifestyle. Edelweiss has maintained a buy as they believe that the first quarter numbers are largely in line with expectations. They believe the fact that Central, that's the brand belonging to Future Lifestyle, is managing to hold fort. And there's also healthy store expansion that is being witnessed. Even Motilal, in fact, is flagging off the same thing, that the company has managed to steadily add stores, and yes, earnings growth has moderated, but that is something that they seem to be pretty optimistic about. Hence, both these brokerages have maintained a buy on Future Lifestyle. The stock is just about holding on to gains of about 1.5%. Vikas, some of these cement companies continue to go higher in trade. We're talking about Birla Corp, ACC, Ambuja. What's your recommendation on ACC?
The view has been pretty positive. If you look at the structure, the stock has been pretty holding its 200-day average, and we believe the stock has good potential to move upwards further. We maintain a buy without positive view with the targets of 1680 to 1720 levels, and can keep a stop of 1520, which is the 200-day average.
Okay, 0.8% higher for ACC. Of course, here is the big ET Now exclusive, and that is the DHFL deal that we are waiting by for. Remember, we did tell you that we're expecting the deal very, very soon. Here are the contours that we are watching out for. AION Capital, of course, is the name that is expected to infuse almost 8,000 crore rupees into the company. And of course, fresh shares, are going to be issued to AION Capital. So just 9.6% is the Wadhwan family's stake that will be held in the company post AION Capital infusing money. 51%, that's a majority stake, is what AION Capital will hold after infusing this 8,000 crore rupees. And then around 26% will be held by the banks and the lenders. We are awaiting awaiting the official announcement, and it is expected anytime before 31st July. AION Capital, by the way, is a joint venture between Apollo PE and ICICI Ventures, and they want to bet on DHFL. Look at the way the stock price on an intraday basis has jumped and how. We have seen a massive double-digit rise come by in the stock price, 12% higher now, and that what you're seeing over there is an ET now impact. And the concomitant impact is also seen on Yes Bank. It is a lender to DHFL, and if in case this deal with AION does go through, it means Yes Bank will have to take a minimal haircut on those loans given. So Yes Bank as well has been holding steady yesterday. Yesterday, of course, was a massive rise, and today as well, it continues to go higher. This is, of course, the exclusive deal structure details between DHFL and AION. We are waiting for the official announcement. Yesterday, DHFL had announced that one strategic investor is looking at the company, but they did not name it. We are waiting by, and of course, sources say it is AION Capital. Okay, well, moving on, TVS Motors, how were the first quarter numbers? Soumya, give us a heads up.
Well, Mubina, it was a decent set of quarter, but at the same time, the stocks are dwindling today on back of the weak commentary. Well, they're expecting industry volumes to decline in FY20 versus their earlier guidance of marginal growth, and at the same time, two-wheeler industry outlook demand is also weak, and big regulatory cost push is expected in 2019 and 20. As far as the brokerage is concerned, the mixed reviews. Morgan Stanley is maintaining their underweight stance at the target price of 326 per share, whereas Credit Suisse is maintaining, has upgraded it to neutral with a target price of 360, and they believe that there was a decent quarter in a challenging environment. However, they've cut their estimates by over 10% for FY20 to 21. However, the stocks are losing close to about 0.25%.
Well, yeah, quietish move for TVS Motors. Kunal, what are you observing in Ipca Labs?
So again, it's a stock which we don't talk of that often, but a stock which has been on a very long-term uptrend. Now look at it over the phases of market volatility or different phases of market sideways move. The stock has done exceptionally well for itself. Now what's interesting for today is that the stock has witnessed a very high volume candle today. It's up I think 2.5 or 3% the last I had seen, but the volumes are almost at a 2-month or a 3-month high for Ipca Labs. So maybe that indicates that the stock could restart its long-term uptrend and could see some bit of more buying from current levels.
And as we speak, Ipca Labs has surged to the day's high. So great going. Okay, Vikas, let's talk about Indiabulls Real Estate. While the rest of the realty pack is managing to bounce back, IB Realty is, I think, staying away from that bounce. So what do you make of this move?
Yeah, the stock has not crossed its ratio averages, and it continues to trade below its short-term and the moving average. We believe the stock will continue to face more amount of downside until completely avoid the stock.
So that is Vikas's view on IB Realty. It's trading below its short and medium-term averages. Okay, Soumya, Coromandel International. What were the first quarter numbers like?
Weak set of numbers. Revenue was down by 15.3% to nearly 2,132 crore rupees. Having said that, PAT was also down by over 28.8%. However, there was slight amount of improvement on the margin front from 8.8 to 9.6% YOY. But overall, the revenue and the bottom line really did not fare well as far as Coromandel is concerned, and the stock's losing close to about 3%.
Well, yes, the street certainly displeased with what they saw in the first quarter for Coromandel. Kunal, let's talk about Ambuja Cements. We did flag off ACC earlier, and cement companies, again, it's been on your radar. What are you observing in Ambuja?
Absolutely, Mubina. And this is one pocket, so traders, investors have to try and pay attention, because this has been one pocket which has just about tried to absorb as much as market volatility. We've not seen that happening for cement stocks in the historical correction, just the recent past, like the last 6 months or 1 year back. So there is a change of character for the entire sector. Now, why I'm flagging off names like ACC yesterday and today Ambuja Cement is because these stocks have managed to go through a short-term pain, but they are the ones which have managed to come back to its 200-day moving averages. There is a case of swing breakout also possible in names like Ambuja Cement. So these are very strong signals when you look at the chart patterns, and these are very sturdy signs. And I believe that indicates that the stock should have more upside. From 218 levels, I believe Ambuja Cement could now head towards 230 over the next 1 to 2 weeks.
But with that, we have to wrap it up because we're out of time. So Vikas, thank you for joining in and sharing your technical strategies. Kunal and Soumya, to you as well. Coming up next is Markets at Noon.